Nice to have you along with us. Past few days, we've been talking about having a visit from the, we call them the Hale Street Gang. They're a group of senior citizens from Randolph who have been creating some wonderful stories that they want to share with the community. And they're in the midst of a project that they hope to mount a multimedia exhibit of their work at the Vermont Folklife Center in Middlebury. And with us this afternoon, we have Sara Tucker and Mary Jacobs. First of all, ladies, welcome to our microphones this afternoon.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Sara, do I call you the leader of the gang?
I guess you would, yeah.
Tell us how this project came about, if you would.
This project really started with my mother, who's now 89, and she, like so many people who begin writing down their memoirs, had gotten a few pages done and then set it aside and didn't pick it up again for a long, long time. So I'm a writer, and I wanted to encourage her. And so I told her that I thought she needed a writer's group. Writers' groups are really motivating and fun, and so we decided we'd start one at the Randolph Senior Center. And somebody actually beat us to it because my mom came home from the Senior Center and said, guess what, they're starting one without us. And I said, well, that's okay, we'll join them. So the former director of the Mary's motivation.
Mary, do you have a story that you want to share with us today?
Oh, I have a lot of stories.
Well, Mary, we have about 15, 20 minutes.
No. Sara and I discussed what I would read, and I'm going to read just part of one.
Okay.
I was a home health nurse for 10 years after I'd been a hospital nurse for 30 years. And this is about my first visit as a home health nurse. My first patient lived in an unpainted, rundown farmhouse in Tunbridge. I was greeted by several mangy-looking barking dogs. The only entrance I could find was through the woodshed. I opened the door and was in the middle of a flock of hens. I'm very afraid of anything with feathers, and it took all my courage to go through the many feathered clucking hens. On entering the building, the first room on the right was a bedroom with a middle-aged, tired-looking woman in bed. She had had both hips replaced and was being cared for by her 5-year-old grandson. The bedroom was wall-to-wall stuff, with a path from the door to the bed. As I was changing her dressings and wondering how I would ever find an empty spot for her to walk a few steps, the grandson entered holding a chicken by the feet in one hand and a golf club in the other. He said,
Vermont, huh?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us this afternoon.
Thanks for having us.
Sara Tucker and Mary Jacobs from the Hale Street Gang. Here on WDEV, it's 22 minutes now past 3 o'clock here on the stations of Radio Vermont.